Some would you rathers, some deep burning questions on today's Oops All Burning Questions episode of 1, 2, 3 Jokes!
Welcome everybody to 1, 2, 3 Jokes, the competitive comedy podcast where we normally take 3 stories from the news, write 3 jokes about each story, and compete for who has written the funniest jokes. Little different today. I'm Jeremy Martinez.
I'm Ricardo Leon.
I am Bob Timmons.
I'm Carly Kastner.
I'm Amanda Kerberg.
And I'm Vanessa Flores.
All right.
Well, things look a little different today. There are 6 of us on camera, and we're just going to be doing some burning questions today. There's no stories. There's no pre-written jokes. None of the cast knows what the questions are going to be ahead of time. Nothing's rehearsed. Nothing's pre-written. We're just getting to know each other a little bit more, trying to...
Because we never talk outside of the show.
Yeah. Basically, the second the camera starts, we're talking, and then once it stops, no one says one word.
No. And Amanda, our resident judge, you are going to be judging our answers? Is that right?
Oh, she will be.
You're gonna tell us which one of us you would like to get to know least.
Oh, I didn't bring my notebook.
Just right, Jeremy.
I'll try.
All right, so I have a box full of questions. I'm going to ask you guys each a question.
Shaking the box up.
That's proof.
That's what questions sound like, listeners.
Yeah, I have a box full of cards with questions on them. I may kind of shuffle through some of these but we're going to start with, let's start with Bob.
Yeah.
Bob,
Yes.
which language would you like to speak fluently other than English?
Hey, it doesn't say other than English on there.
I have so many English words to learn, though. Probably Korean. That way I could actually talk to my family.
Good answer.
And just see how much they're insulting me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Would you rather learn Korean or would you rather them speak to you in English?
Korean.
That is an unsanctioned question.
We're going to have to dock you points, Jeremy.
Damn it.
Okay,
Put that
this
in the
question's
stats.
for Amanda.
Okay.
Amanda, which book or film or TV show
Okay.
has dramatically influenced your life?
It can also be a play.
It can also be a porno.
Or something you just saw on the street?
Oh my
YouTube
gosh.
short.
You know,
A
I mean,
TikTok.
it's a lot. There's probably a lot because I definitely am like one of those people who like just, especially movies, I'll just watch a movie and I'll just be like, I want to be whatever that thing was and change my whole life. And now that's who I am.
An extraterrestrial.
Cloverfield.
But it's funny. Like I was in the theater program. I was a theater major for a little bit of time in college. And I saw this movie called The Libertine with Johnny Depp that like no one else saw. And I
saw that movie. He has weird little
I
curly bangs.
love this movie so much. When it came out, I think it came like to DVD on my birthday, and I made my dad watch it.
So Amanda went out right away to get syphilis.
But no, I loved this movie. There's so many quotes in this movie that I love, but one of them was he's talking to like one of the actors. And he's like, that's the problem with all of you on the stage, like your sense of time. Like you think I must make my entrance now. I must do this now. But life is not a series of urgent nows. It is a listless trickle of why should I?
And time is a man-made construct.
Yeah. And I left the theater program.
As fast as you could.
I felt like this is the disconnect for me. Like, I mean, I think I learned so much from it and I loved it and I did kind of miss it immediately. But there was part of me that was just like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm more of the listless trickle person. Yeah.
And after she got syphilis, she had a listless trickle.
But the medication was helping.
That's a really good joke. It's disgusting.
Funny because it's true.
I was in the theater program too for my freshman year.
Yeah.
Jeremy, wait for the card, please.
No.
Are there
Okay,
any
here's Jeremy's
questions about my
question.
freshman year?
Yeah, here's Jeremy's question.
What was your sophomore year for me?
Freshman year theater experience.
Yeah.
And I had that year on like scholarship, and then my scholarship was only for 1 year. So
In
like,
high school?
freshman of college.
Okay.
So I didn't go back for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I did go back, I changed my major to, you know, like building stuff and design and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Because that was my career path.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't actually get a degree in theater. Like, ooh, dodged a bullet there.
I mean, I didn't get like a better degree. I got a degree in film, but
Oh,
but
I'm
no, and I
sorry.
had so much fun. But I was just like, I was one of those like I couldn't settle down. So like I changed my major so many times and tried so many different things. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The theater department begged me to come back.
No, they don't.
Nice.
Not.
Marlon Brando.
Begged me to come back.
Ricky, if you're there, I can't do Marlon Brando. I can't do anyone.
I could have been a theater major.
Tell me if counting balls in my mouth. Oh, fuck. No. Okay, Ricky.
Hey, it's me. I
Hey, little honey.
got my holes in my mouth.
Ricky, if you knew that you were going to inherit a fortune,
And this is the way you tell me? Give me the money.
if you knew that you were going to inherit a fortune, how would your plans for your future change?
I would be less on a listless trickle.
I'd finally get that syphilis.
Gonorrhea.
I'd start getting those things flowing nice and powerful. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? So wait, what was the question again?
If you knew that you were going to inherit a fortune, how would your plans for your future change? Would you quit your job? Would you?
I would
Kill someone?
I would like kind of keep it on the DL for a minute and maybe try to like ramp up to living large.
I'll start with a monocle. And then we'll go from
And then a full pair of glasses.
The cane will come later once I've really inherited.
I'll start with a bottom hat and work my way up to the top.
Something's different about
Bottom
you.
hat. Why does he wear that hat on his butt?
Well, it's not because I'm rich.
As far as
you're concerned.
Yeah, we figured.
I told you about my trickle, yes?
So nothing
Hat,
would
it's a
change.
trickle catch.
Would you quit your job?
No, I don't think so. Not right away. You know what I mean? I'd start kind of I would try to keep things normal until I was like ready to like do new things. Like I'm not tomorrow going to go like have a new plan. You know what I mean? I'd want to plan it and then go do it. But I keep everything normal. Also, you don't want your family members to know that you win the lottery. Like
It didn't say the lottery. It said inherit
or
a fortune.
inherited or
Yeah.
whatever. When
So-
people know you have money, then they come after you.
So, assume in this scenario, the rest of your family is dead.
Oh, jeez.
How would you plan your future?
That's how you got your small
First, I
fortune.
killed Jeremy for being mean.
I didn't ask the question.
And it
The
was an
question
accident, I swear.
implied.
That your family is dead?
That's how you inherited the
I
fortune.
inherit all my family's
That's
wealth.
how he
Yeah.
becomes the Punisher then, right?
Here's a question. Why was your family so wealthy and you're living your lifestyle?
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
And what happened to them?
Can we go to the next question?
Okay, Vanessa, how would you like to spend your elder years?
In good health. And
Let's pretend you have good health.
Such a
Okay.
long answer.
what now? Elder years. I want to travel. I want to travel a lot. I've moved from one desert to another, and it's like nice because it's familiar, but it's also like I know there's so much more of like different weather.
The Sahara, the Outback.
Egypt.
We should move to Albuquerque.
I'm sure it's wonderful, but I'm like, yeah, I want to see more of the world, and
Like, I hear there are trees out there.
yeah. So
What's a tundra
Well,
like?
if I'm elderly, depending on like how elderly, I want to travel now. I don't know. I just want to be chill. I don't want to have problems. I don't want to have like
this
major
podcast.
bills. Yeah, I want it to be easy. Like just things are
Yeah.
predictable. Life isn't crazy. And maybe I don't talk to a majority of my extended family. Which I'm doing now, which is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, one step at a time.
Give
You're
her the
already an
inheritance.
old lady.
Just
I
speak
am.
Korean to them, and they
I need to learn Korean.
All right, Jeremy, what is your favorite song to sing in the car or the shower?
Oh, that's hard
God
because I
you
like to
got
sing
that one, yeah.
all the songs. Whatever's in my head, I like to
Yeah.
sing. So,
Russian national
but in the
anthem.
shower, I like to sing like
Washing my pee.
"Wait for It" from Hamilton.
He's singing, I'm gonna wash that man right out of my head.
I'm gonna
Wait for
wash
it
that
is so
sweat
good.
right off of my body.
I think this will be the next 10 minutes.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
I like
Is that what you
that's-
do when you
that's such
jerk
a good
off in the
song.
shower?
Yeah. The song's about edging.
I have to remind myself.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
I know you're excited, but just
And
hold
then I
on.
remind myself, my father was a brimstone preacher.
That's how you pull yourself back from it.
my father.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, am I doing one? All right.
Yeah.
Picking a
Okay,
random.
can I read you one?
Picking a random. Sure. Go ahead and pick one.
You know, I keep trying to find an episode to show my mom, and I cannot find one.
We got a little bit.
You're like, not that goop holder one.
Oh no. Carly, what are your simple pleasures?
Simple pleasures. Well,
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I like to snuggle my
Edging to
puppies.
Broadway.
Okay, puppies next.
I do think dogs, like that is the simplest pleasure. They're the best. I love puppas. But also, let me tell you, this is a real answer, not dog related. Have you guys ever played Settlers of Catan?
You
that
got
a
games on the
simple pleasure?
mind today.
Yeah.
Okay, I play a game of Catan every single day. There is an online app where you
my
can play
gosh,
against
do you
people.
really?
I play one game a day. It keeps the sex away. No, but for real, I really do play one game a day. It is really, really fun. It's like a mindless
funny.
game. I'll like have a show on my phone while Catan's going. So I'm half paying attention to
Yeah.
two different things. It's amazing. I love it.
That's awesome.
I love that.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like I want Bob to answer one more question because he got away really easy with just saying Korean.
away.
So,
Oh, you gave me a little question.
that's
pretty
lame.
philosophical.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't there
Ooh,
a spicy duck?
this is a good question for Bob. Who is the funniest person alive?
Alive.
Alive.
Why?
I can only think of dead people.
Who's the funniest person who's dead?
Well, this is also
At this
just-
table.
We're all alive.
Not dead inside.
Yeah.
I'll reframe the question if it helps.
Okay.
Who is the person that makes you seriously crack up the hardest? Like
You know,
laugh
like
out
the
loud,
funniest
crack up.
person.
All right, let me rephrase. Who makes you like really chuckle hard?
I'm not sure I know what the word funny means. Could you rephrase the question?
Because there's some people who I like genuinely think are funny, but I don't laugh out loud. I just think like they're so clever, they're so funny.
So
Is it Oscar Wilde?
I'm one of those people.
Myself.
I don't laugh at any of my stuff.
Neither do we.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for it.
Come on, cheap shot from Carly.
But I've said in the past, like I truly do think that like this crew here are some of the funniest people I've ever seen, heard, been around, whatever.
That's sweet.
If
Now
we're
a real
talking-
answer.
Well, I was still talking. But if we're talking just like comedians, I would say Paul F. Tompkins on stage or just on a podcast, just talking.
Sheets.
Like just he's a freak in the sheets, but that's neither here nor there. But like he just has a quality
Right
and
here.
an ability, a quality and ability to just be funny. Like, and Jimmy Pardo would describe it as being funny in the bones. Like it's just an innate thing, and he's just funny talking. And he always cracks me up no matter what it is. And he always comes up with these funny turns of phrase, whatever. He's hilarious.
I think I might have a pretty similar answer too.
It doesn't matter. Next card.
I prefer F. Paul Tompkins.
Don't you say that.
All right,
You prefer to
Carly,
F
we
up?
need the next question.
Okay,
now.
okay. Here's a question for everyone. Everyone's going to answer the same question. On our show,
Yes.
Oh.
what do you think is the funniest
guess for
joke you've told? And then, like you can paraphrase the story and then just I'll
no
start.
idea.
I'll start because I really I don't.
For Vanessa.
Vanessa won last episode.
The one
so
with
she's-
the book title. Genius.
Okay, I'll start while you guys think about it
I'm not
Never
going to
because
it's
I've
not
had.
gonna get
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I have
I
jokes.
just don't know any.
Carly,
There's not
we've
one
written-
joke where
no.
you're like, okay, I really loved this joke.
No, Carly, we've written thousands of jokes.
There are jokes that I think are good. Again, like I've talked about this with Rick, but it's like I don't laugh when I write the things. Like I think this will be a good joke. I think people will like it.
Yeah.
But I never like make myself laugh
Oh, I do.
with the joke.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I equate it to like tickling yourself. I can't, I don't know what it is, but
There's not one joke that sticks out in your mind as like, I remember telling this joke and really loving it.
well, I remember telling the joke and it getting a good response. So these jokes, like, well, recent one was the person who
and pop.
right,
Yeah.
the mom
Oh,
and pop
yeah,
pop
yeah.
pop
Yeah,
shop. I
that
thought
was a great
good
joke.
one.
That was a great joke.
I was actually pretty pleased with the recent one with the happy birthday.
That was hilarious.
That's good.
Really funny.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
kid
So
being
for the
born.
listeners, there was a story about a woman giving birth in a golden corral, and Bob's joke was the staff saying to the boy, "Happy birthday!"
Well,
great joke.
It was
great
like
joke.
the staff knew what to do. They jumped into action. They went to the bathroom and sang "Happy birthday."
And
Don't
the
come
mom-
back for seconds
yes.
until your plate is clean.
And the mom and pop joke was excellent, and that was a story about a guy who ran a gun store from his
Oh, I
home.
just thought of another joke I made that was great.
Oh God! Now we have to preface
Yeah,
it.
I really
Bring
like,
it.
yeah.
I was
Bring your daughter
I
to
thought
work
that was
day.
Oh, the twerk day was really, really good.
I thought that was meh.
That's not
I
about
like
what
the
you
other
think.
two. Well,
You
that's
asked
true.
me the question.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I liked it when you sang "Somewhere Out There" is the end of my huge cock. It was really good. That was a story, listeners, about an AI generated image of a rat with a gigantic penis.
Here it is.
It was
Okay.
completely out of frame.
I couldn't tell you one joke I've ever told except for this one. I don't know why this one really sticks out. And I like every time I go to write jokes, I think, how do I recreate this experience? And it's not even that good. But we did an episode, I was telling jokes about a restaurant that a guy was running from his house. And when the food department came to shut him down, he was like, this isn't a restaurant. Like, don't believe the hype. It's not a restaurant. It's clearly a fucking restaurant. And I think my joke was something along like, what was the guy's name? Orlando's. Because when you're here, you're family. Because we're not a restaurant. Our family lives here. It's so stupid. It's not that great.
good joke.
But I loved that joke. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know what other joke I thought was fucking brilliant was
Yes.
Candia's Crush 316.
All right, we need a card now.
Yeah.
No, I want to know if you
That
guys
was
have it.
I won't have an answer. As soon as we're done recording, they've left my mind. But I would say when listening back or watching back an episode,
The watching.
the watching is happening. I make myself laugh more with like the ad libs
Yeah.
in real life than my pre-written
The
jokes when I'm
ad-libs
watching
are
back
so funny.
or listening
Yeah,
back.
I agree.
I'm like, oh, that was a
The
funny
ad-libs
one.
are
Good
hilarious.
job.
Yeah, I think that's a strength of the show is like
Yeah.
the rapport and just the being able to on the fly jokes. And
Yeah.
And how sweet Rick is, really. Because he's really America's sweetheart. Right, Rick?
we need a card.
No one else wants to answer that question?
I don't think they remember.
I don't think about things like that.
My jokes 1 through 8.
And her jokes won.
All right, here's a question.
Those are my best.
Also, but I do laugh at my jokes because it feels more like I'm surprising myself than tickling myself. You know what I mean? Because like my brain is just like kind of just like thinking something, and then something
Sex,
is caught,
sex.
and it's like, oh, that's the joke right there. And then it's like, oh, it was more like, oh, like I caught it rather than it's like like trying to tickle myself.
It's like an epiphany.
So it's surprising. That's why I laugh because
Yeah, because you're tickling yourself and you're like,
thought
why am
about
I doing this? Fingers, you stop it. Okay. Here's a question I pulled from the stack, but I'm going to modify it and we're all going to answer.
Okay.
You don't need to justify it, but you can. You two cannot say each other. Okay.
Okay.
Who would you fuck?
Who's poop? Who's poop?
You're going on a vacation. You got to take one of the other people in this room with you. Who you taking? I'll go first. Amanda.
Who has the most?
Honestly, I recommend this for all of you. Amanda's.
I feel like
Like a
Amanda, you'd be really easy and fun to go on a vacation with. I would go on a
and
vacation
she likes
with
to
you.
party.
Yeah, but yes.
She
Wait.
doesn't like
And fun.
complain a bunch like
Yeah.
the rest of you assholes.
In this scenario, does Rick have that inheritance?
Yes. Still not Rick. I'm going with Amanda. I would honestly have fun with all of you, but I do think Amanda would be the easiest person to travel with, the most enjoyable,
very easy.
least amount of conflict.
I've thought about this before. Like Amanda should have a segment on the show with like cultural information, not pop cultural, but just cultural information. Because she has so much. Like we did a story about like a penis museum, maybe.
Oh yeah, that I'd
She
been to a
has
nice
so
one.
much
Yeah.
information.
I know.
Yeah. And then, like in the text thread, she's like, "Oh, well, there really is a penis museum and blah 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 and blah blah blah." And it's like, "Oh my god, like how do you know this?"
Yeah, Jeremy was like, so what's it supposed to look like?
The whole museum, I didn't see any of them that looked like
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
Or so
Why aren't
large
these
and
all
bulbous.
shaped like an octagon?
Well, I think everyone agreed on Amanda then. So
Oh my god, can
Yeah.
I take me? I feel scared to pick one of you now.
You have to pick one.
little egotistical, but all right. She'd rather go by herself.
All right, Amanda's taking herself on
I can't.
vacation.
I love you all. You're all awesome.
All right. What's the worst job that you've ever had? This is open to anyone that wants to answer. The worst job you've ever had.
I've had a few customer service jobs. I can't do it. I just don't like.
But you're so bubbly.
This is what I'm saying. And they ruined me. All these customers.
Oh my god.
So I had a worse job experience because I worked with somebody who was really terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And like abusive and crazy. And then I saw him the other day in the elevator.
In the mirror.
And I texted everybody who works on the third floor and said, "You guys didn't hire this person, did you?" And they're like, "No, but we were going to." And I was like,
No one's
"Don't
hired him,
do it. He's
ever."
terrible. I don't like to get involved in people's career stuff, but I did fuck that guy over for sure."
One of my jobs was administration and teaching, and I was there for way too long. And there was like lots of
50
nepotism.
years. She has a pension.
10, but it felt like it. And yeah, it was just totally like I was just being spread so thin and miserable. And it was also like very Catholic school, and so it's like I was always scared I'd be caught in public like having a beer and getting in trouble. If, like someone saw me, like I couldn't be myself at home or outside. And
So she would just
I
drink at
think
school.
that's true
Yeah.
for a lot of educators because I'm in education. I feel the same way. Like when I was dating and like meeting people on dating apps and stuff and just kind of going out with different people, I
Setting up in a men's bathroom.
always ran into students. It's like mortifying. Even though you're not doing anything inappropriate, you're living your life.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
No, I've worried about that a lot.
It's
I went
hard.
to a baseball game
Yeah.
with my sister, and she was like, we had beers, and the student was like down there, and she's like, "Oh," like, she was not cool about it.
It's important that your students there's boundaries. You
Yeah.
don't want your students knowing your personal life,
But
and
a
so
beer at a
it's
baseball game.
I think
it's not
totally fine,
inappropriate. It's just uncomfortable.
I went to dinner with a friend one time who like used to work at like a child care after school program, you know, and so but he had worked there like 15 years ago, right? And so or 10 years prior. Anyways, we're hanging out, and then like you know, the waitress is like she's a pretty lady. She's a cute waitress, and so we, you know, just guys hanging out. We're like, oh yeah, she's cute, huh? And, you know, like, and then
This guy's hanging out, you know, talking about her tits and stuff.
and then but he's like, yeah, she's really cute, but I don't know. I feel like I've met her before.
Oh, it's one of his students.
It was one of the students.
Oh, you're talking about me?
I was trying not to put
At the Angry Crab
in
Shack.
case you didn't want to be
Angry
named.
Crab Shack.
Jeremy, I can't believe you said that about me.
Well,
What?
because I'm just like, this boring's dumb. I'm not in it.
Are you talking about me on December
We were
23rd,
at the Angry Crab
2004?
Shack, and there was this girl there, and I was like, and we were like, yeah, she's kind of cute. But then I was like, she looks so familiar.
Yeah.
But I remember her being very quiet. It's because she was like a child.
No, you're making it worse.
Wow,
All
yeah.
right, moving on.
I believe
Bob,
that's
do you have
very
some questions you want to ask? They're kind of,
These are kind of
I'm doing my best. All right, let's move on to. Oh, you got one,
No, it's just what do you think is the ideal age? That's it.
Rick?
Rick, would you,
For what?
we'll go around the table.
Ideal age for what?
Okay, I'm gonna go. Moving on to some would you rather's.
Round two.
You guys, round two. It's the
two.
would you rather
Oh, this
section.
is not round 7 already?
What would you rather be a villain who wins or a hero who loses? If you'd rather be the villain in the story, raise your hand. Really?
Who wins?
Yeah.
Or a hero who loses?
I mean,
rather
I'm
be the
already
hero who
being a
loses.
hero who loses all the time.
You're the villain who loses. So
Yeah, for some reason I identify with the hero who loses, so I think that's more fun.
I would just rather not be a shitty person.
Well, I don't think that's an option, is it?
Yeah, a villain who wins. A shitty person who wins.
I don't know. I wonder
I don't know.
how
the
we
villain,
define the villain.
the villain
is
isn't
social
the,
construct.
the villain is the hero of their own story.
Yeah.
Quote Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
So then ultimately you'll be the hero who loses if you are the
No,
villain
we're not.
who loses.
I'm drawn to like underdog stories and things like that. I always enjoy that kind of progression. So I always like someone who makes it.
When you guys watch a movie and say, or a TV show and say that it's an underdog story, but they do make the underdog lose, or the couple doesn't end up together or
It
whatever.
does not feature the said cartoon character underdog.
Does it piss you off, or can you watch that and go like, man, that's hard to watch, but it's realistic, so I get like, do you always want the movie to be a happy ending?
I tell you, when you were asked the question about a movie or whatever that like really resonated with you, 500 Days of Summer resonated with me, and they don't end up together.
Yeah,
in that
Yeah,
way.
but I think that's a good thing.
But I've because I've been that guy. Just like
We've all
I just
been that guy.
want her to like me. I just want this to like.
Yeah.
I like you. I told you already.
Only I could believe you.
I'm wearing the ring.
I don't believe it yet.
I think that movie's hard to watch
It's hard to watch.
when you're, especially if you're going through a breakup, but when you rewatch it, you go like, all right, it does make sense that they didn't end up together. Like that's a smart
Yeah.
ending to the film, but it's tough to watch. All right. Speaking of love stories, would you describe your love romantic life as a cheesy rom-com or a tear-jerking drama?
I would need another option.
Yeah.
Is there cheese jerky
Or a silent film.
things?
All right. Those are your options. A cheesy rom-com, tear-jerking drama.
A cheese jerking.
A cheese
Llama.
or a cheese jerking llama.
Go jerk some cheese, motherfucker.
Raise your hand if you think it's a cheesy rom-com. I'll say mine's
Cheesy rom-com. What was the other one?
cheese jerking llama.
Well, if those are the options.
Oh yeah, raise your hand if you're a
two
tear
options.
jerking. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I'm just realizing? This is terrible podcasting. No one listening can see if you're watching.
Well,
Okay, so
you're
earlier.
in charge. Terrible.
Sorry about that, listeners. Okay, earlier I didn't realize. Earlier when I asked about the villains, everyone said they wanted to be a villain
kinda
except
talked
for
about it.
me and
Except for
Bob.
you and Bob.
Me and Bob wanted to be heroes. Okay, in this one, everyone said cheesy rom-com except I think Ricky and Bob. Is that right?
No.
Everyone said cheesy.
Everyone said cheesy
Because
rom-com.
like it's not a tear jerker. That's
Well, some people have had really dramatic.
If that's the
Are
scale,
really
then I'll
dramatic.
go the tearjerker thing.
Okay.
So he is doing tear.
Oh, maybe I am more of a tear.
Yeah, I know.
Now that I think about it, I was like, I
Yeah.
guess it does suck.
What about a cheese jerking llama? Anyone?
I got a video to show you.
You're out there, baby. I want you.
Okay. This is
Fuck to you.
this one's a little spicy
Nobody.
No.
from
like
the Emperor's
it on
New
the
Clothes.
Say again,
No,
Carla?
Emperor's New Groove.
Haktua.
No?
You know what that is.
Jesus Christ.
What is Haktua? Tell us.
Talk to us.
Talk to us.
Okay.
Talk to us.
We're moving
to
on.
us.
We're moving on.
Hey,
This-
you want to get a lot of listeners? Name it Hawk to us as the.
okay, we're moving on, Rick. Okay, here's another. This is a spicy one. Would you rather be spontaneously rickrolled every time you have an orgasm, or have to have a spontaneous orgasm every time someone rickrolls you?
The second one, because that doesn't happen that often, and I feel like I could cover it up fine. Yeah.
Or you'd be like searching for rickrolls.
Yeah. I could just be like,
Yeah,
oh
but
man.
who's doing it? Yeah, right?
I don't
It's
know,
like,
Rick himself.
Shame on you.
I'm gonna self-rick roll myself.
I want to specify it's always Ricardo Leone when we say rickroll.
Make you come.
Never gonna make you come.
I thought the whole point was it was involved.
Would you rather be stuck in a horror film where the villain is a ghost or a serial killer? So raise your hand for ghosts.
Ghost.
All right, everyone said ghosts except for me and Amanda.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
I'd
take
rather serial
serial
killer.
Why?
Because
Oh,
I'll take
God.
that serial
Look,
killer.
There's just part of me that wants that.
I feel like I could
Serial killer?
I feel like I could
take
have.
on a serial killer.
Oh, that wants to fight?
Yeah.
I
Be a
also
final
feel like
girl?
Yeah.
it seems more realistic for a human being to evade a serial killer than a fucking ghost.
You move.
Oh, you know what the
Well,
magical power is that you can stop a ghost with? Not believing in ghosts.
I don't think that
That's
works.
what the dead guy says.
I think ghosts make more believers out of non-believers than non-believers out of believers.
I just think it'd be fun to just be like, I want to be in one of those like flip movies where it's like a surprise. It's like now the predator has become the prey. Like you should not come to this house tonight. Like
I like that.
and
feel
you
like
can't
she's
do
thought
that to a
about this.
ghost.
Yeah. And then like you
No, see, but the thing with your ghost theory is that ghosts are constantly making me a non-believer by not being here right now.
Yeah, but in this scenario, they are, and
They
they're
are there.
going to kill you.
They are not there, and they're not going to.
Rick's
because
the
they're
first
not
one dead.
there.
I know it.
Did he
think-
pick ghosts?
I like
That's what I'm saying, because they don't exist, so I'll pick ghosts.
That's
Okay.
Nothing's
stupid.
gonna hurt
no,
me.
you had to pick it because it exists in the logic of the question.
I'm picturing the final scene when Amanda like stabs the serial
Yeah.
killer and he goes down and all she hears is never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Oh yeah.
The guy's ghost
she
is
orgasms.
gonna come out.
All right, I think that's it. I think we're good. We've burned enough questions.
These questions maybe not so great.
Having a good time.
There are some that I picked out that of the bunch, I'd say
Round
are,
3.
Round 3.
Bob's burning questions.
Round 3, Bob's burning questions.
what's the
Bob's
biggest
burners.
lie you told as a child? And I read that wrong because I initially thought it was what was the biggest lie you were told as a child?
I thought you were going to say
let's
that
go
you
with that.
told
You can answer
to
that
a
question.
child.
What's the biggest lie you were told as a child?
Oh, you were told.
Like religious stuff, I'm sure. I can't think of
I guess
anything
that stuff's kinda
specific.
like that, huh?
I guess that's a lie.
That you were told as a child?
Well, I
What's the
changed
biggest
it.
lie?
Oh.
Because I don't want to.
I have an answer.
No.
I have an answer for both.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know. Biggest lie I was probably told as a child, which I probably still don't know that I still don't know the true answer to, is why my parents split. I have no idea. They're
Still?
parents would give you a child answer.
So
like,
you're
"Oh,
saying
we
when
just,
they
like-"
told you it was because of you, that was a lie?
I hope so. I don't know. They said something about like a ghost, haunting
They're like-
the relationship.
We love you very much. We're never gonna give you up. And then Jeremy,
Never gonna let you down.
Now just watch this video. We'll be out for a
We
while.
are going to run around a little more, though.
The biggest lie I told as a child was kind of a lie by omission, I guess. But the first time I got high when I was 14 or 15, I came home and I told my mom, like, yeah, I just have like allergy attack or something. And then she made tostadas for dinner, and I ate probably 10 of them.
I bet.
Oh, my boy's growing.
allergies
My
are making me so hungry.
Did she ever know?
I told her eventually.
And I kept calling her man.
And she won't talk to me.
But yeah, a lot of these are just kind of weird little, like, what's your favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner? I was like,
Ooh.
Stuffing.
Mashed potatoes.
when you were young, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oof.
Oh, this is a very easy
Mashed
one for me.
potatoes.
And it's very weird. Well, okay, the first one's not weird. Even as young as I can remember 3rd grade, I wanted to be on SNL.
Weird.
I very specifically though, it wasn't like I want to be an actress, I want to be a celebrity. It was like I want to be on SNL.
Yeah.
Don't know why as a 3rd grader that was important to me.
I wanted to be the new copy guy.
I just wanted to be like on
Making
show audience.
Carly.
Yeah. And then at a certain point that shifted because I was like, I'm not going to be on SNL. I'll just think of
I'll
something
just
more
be on
realistic.
Mad TV.
And then that got canceled, so I had to think of something more realistic. And then, like, randomly, I would say my sophomore year of high school is like, I'll be a firefighter. And I wanted to be a
I can see you doing
firefighter.
that.
That's really
Like,
cool.
all the way
Strong
up
lady.
until even my freshman year of college, I was
Wow.
undeclared, thinking, like, being a firefighter sounds like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then I was undeclared for a while, and I still never really knew.
She's like, I wanted to be a firefighter up until the time I encountered my first stairwell.
Well, when I started my freshman year of college, they make you pick something. So I picked education, but like I hated my classes.
Yeah.
And it really dissuaded me from education. And so then I went undeclared for a while. I eventually became an educator.
Yeah, I was going to say. And she's an educator to this day.
I mean, I realized I didn't want to be a public school teacher.
Yeah. Good
which
God,
I'm
yeah.
not. And I think that was what's dissuaded me.
Yeah.
I love educating. Would never work for the public school system, but yeah.
I'd rather pick up charred bodies.
Which is what I do now.
Pick him up. You're the guy who cleans up out of the firefighters.
Yeah.
Still breathing.
When I was little, like we were very Catholic, and so I wanted to be a nun. And my mom was.
But did you know what that meant, or
I
were you
did.
just?
I was young. It was like I knew what. I was like, well, what's the big deal about sex and fun stuff? And then it's like you're 5, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
And you're
Hopefully.
just like,
She saw Sister Act and was like, I know, they just sing all day. It's amazing.
I want to be someone. I want to go somewhere. I better wake up and pay attention.
so, and then my mom's like, I'm not sending you to private school to be a poor,
Yeah.
nun. And she's like, well, you can always be a nun like later in your life. So what's something else you want to do? I was like, I want to be an elementary school art teacher. And she's like, paid.
Don't you mean stockbroker?
So my old roommate was an elementary school art teacher, and she was so good at her job, and she loved her job. She actually made pretty good money. Really? Yeah.
All from tips, though.
Yeah, it was just from tips.
And then
Give yourself something nice for that. Thanks for helping me with the pottery.
and then it changed to like actor because I was in theater, and then I like computers, so I went to like graphic design, which is
so cool.
yeah.
I wanted to be a cop at one point. I wanted to be a lawyer at one point, and actor, and then a podcaster. You know, when I was 8, I said, I want to be a podcaster.
This medium does not exist yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe someday you'll do
You
it.
just have to will it into being.
One of my high school friends went on to be a nun, but we'd lost touch before that. But I know from Facebook that she was a nun for something like a year, and then not a nun anymore. And I want that story so bad.
Actually, I have a nun story. One of my
It's more of a
bosses,
non-story.
she was a ex nun, and what happened was they were like promoting sending nuns to colleges. So she went off to college and met her husband, and then left the.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
that's so funny.
And they were like, ugh, probably shouldn't send him to college.
We need these women uneducated.
It's not Jesus' dick, but at least it's someone's dick.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
As they say.
my parents have like distant friends who are a former nun and a former priest that got together. And, yeah,
Well, they met at a bar.
yeah.
Just so horny.
Yeah. Had a 3-0 at the rabbi.
And then a horse came out.
Yeah, a rabbi, a nun, and a priest walk into a bar.
That was my fucking joke in the first place, Carly. Yes.
Well, you should have told
Anyone?
it like that.
All right, well, we want to thank you for
Well, I want to
watching
know
this.
what Bob.
I wanted to be a professional wrestler since I was 11.
Wow.
So when I was 11 and in the 6th grade, I even like wrote, it was like a poetry assignment in 6th grade. And like all of my poems were about professional wrestling.
Roses are red.
Yeah.
Violets are blue.
Yeah. So it was just like whatever. I mean,
so cute.
And I trained for a little bit, but I didn't have the money to continue. But I think
right,
it's
quick.
good for a midlife crisis.
Quick,
Like,
write a haiku about wrestling.
No.
No. Roses are red, violets are blue. All
Bob
I
is
want
a wrestler.
is to body
He
slam you.
never lived up to.
There once was a man
Potential.
who did a pile driver.
I don't like this poem. And the only other card I saw here is are you mentally or physically tougher
Then.
than the next guy?
Oh.
Yes. I think I'm physically tougher than I am mentally.
I break just like a woman. How does
What?
the song go?
I don't know.
I make love just like a woman.
Man, you feel
But I
like a
break
woman?
just like a little girl.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad you didn't mix that order up.
Yeah, I don't like that parody.
I would say I don't know, what is it, like a You know, like in baseball video games or any sports video games, you can
You
choose.
assign the stat.
You can choose your
but
strength,
the higher one
but
is the lower the other
Their
one.
attributes.
the attributes. As the higher one
Yeah.
goes, the other ones go lower. But I think mine, if I did those
It gets
as a skill,
stronger.
yeah, I think they're pretty matched.
Yeah.
But I think they're kind of pretty matched around maybe 60%. You know, physically and mentally. Neither one's really higher than the other, but
Yeah.
They're
not
both
like-
super low.
They're not like super great. But the dick length attribute is also probably
That's
like
like
so
all the
40%.
Yeah.
because he put all his attribute points
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
Into dick.
Well,
all
I
your
see
skill
on the
points.
T meter, it's very low.
I would say the same, but I would agree with Carly's joke on mine. It's a little low on both ends. Like I'm hurting physically and mentally. That's why I make such good jokes. I think I'm compensating for
Right.
something.
Right?
I think
I need this. I need to be validated.
Here's the catch-22 on that. I think in order to be physically strong, you have to have mental toughness. Do think that's
Yeah, 'cause
true.
you need.
To an extent.
Yeah.
It's sports is
Discipline. You need
90%
a lot of-
mental.
there's no trope like where like big strong guys are real dumb. Right?
Didn't say dumb. It's a toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess that can
You
be
have, like,
interpreted.
fortitude. Yeah. Fortitude.
So
discipline.
physically strong, but like not great stamina. But emotionally kind of
Lady.
strong, but take on pain for long periods of time.
endurance. Yeah.
Endurance.
I would say I would agree that mine are, I think, like kind of on an even keel. I think I can take a lot of punches both emotionally and physically, but
Okay, Robert, you take one, I'll take the other.
just tell me I look terrible. But I think I've mentioned this before that I really can like fall down a lot.
I just imagine
get
something
right
like,
back up.
Amanda, you look tired today.
Like, so I really think
Which are you
physically-
worse about?
Yeah, I think physically I'm pretty good at just like, yeah, I can take all kinds of just accidents and just get back up.
You mean literal fall down?
Yeah, like I can fall down.
Okay.
And, yeah, I have a lot of bruises on me usually because I'm kind of clumsy.
Yeah, same. I'm
Yeah.
constantly knocking
Right?
into shit.
I'm emotionally clumsy.
Here's the thing. I think I can take a lot of blows emotionally. Like when people treat me poorly, I
Shut up,
think
stupid.
I think I can exactly brush it
You
off.
can. You can take
But
some.
here's where I'm not tough is like when shit doesn't go the way I expected it to go, and that has nothing to do with like necessarily the way I'm treated. It's more just like my tire like blows up on the freeway and I'm late to work.
Yeah.
I lose my shit. Like I get really overwhelmed, and so that's where I wish I was a little stronger emotionally. Like,
I get so flustered, I flip the car over.
and then I zoom away with my strength.
What an emotional
What if the Hulk
woman.
was like, you don't want to see me when I'm flustered?
Because I'm so buff.
You don't want to see me when I'm mildly inconvenienced. That's my secret. I'm always
Just not
mildly
today.
inconvenienced.
You know what? Here's the other thing is like
even.
I can't handle. I feel like you guys here. You know what? I kind of feel like Jeremy and I are on the same page with this because we have the same like mental disorders. But I cannot fucking stand an injustice. Like if I see even the
Oh, that's very bold.
even this no
Even the most wrong, meaningless.
no.
You know how we just stand by?
No,
Subjectively
wrong.
you're talking about major injustices in which most people are angered by.
Yeah.
Even slight, like if I see someone get cut off on the freeway, like little injustices, I'll like carry them with me for a long time and I'll be really angry. And I feel like no one else is angry. And that makes me mad because I'm like, I like get really angry at little injustices. So I think we're very similar in that, where you like
Maybe.
have trouble
Do you
letting
get
stuff
angry
go.
at little injustices?
Yeah. And your name in my head is
Jared.
Little Injustice.
You're the littlest injustice I
Little
know.
teeny tiny injustice.
We want to thank you all for
Vanessa
listening
wasn't-
today.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you got another one? Go ahead.
No, I was just making a comment about how I no.
Okay.
I was gonna just say that I remember, to back up your point, you had talked about, I remember you were really livid because this neighbor was walking their dog in the hot weather and you like braked your car
yeah.
and you were just like,
Unridiculous. It was so
I
ridiculous.
just flustered her. She's been flustered.
Yeah.
It makes me mad still when I think about it and his reaction to being like,
Yeah.
your dog is clearly in pain. Fucking take him off of the hot pavement, you motherfucking piece of shit. And he's like, yo, quit being a busybody. And it's like, no, you're the asshole
East
here,
Coast
not
transplant
me.
this guy.
Yeah.
That's how we talked.
Hey, I'm walking my dog.
The neighborhood, Phoenix.
Don't walk your dog at 11 a.m. in July, folks. No.
And, I feel bad from being
listeners
excluded
of the
from
show.
questions and talked over. But
Do you
Oh,
wanna-
I'm
you wanna
sorry.
answer that
All
question
right,
or
quick,
something?
rapid fire all the answers.
thank you for listening and watching. We appreciate it very much. I think this is going out. We'll see.
All right, Bob, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's
Would you
up?
rather have a full-time housekeeper or a private chef?
Chef.
Thank you for joining
That's a
us.
spicy question?
Wait, what are they wearing?
Absolutely want someone to clean my house more than I want someone to cook for me.
Good God, yes. And that's
Yeah.
so funny because we literally, my mom and I talked about that yesterday because I was like, I want a house cleaner. And she's like, I want a chef. And I was like, I am your chef.
I want a better one.
Look at me. I'm the
You're
chef.
telling me.
Yeah, actually, maybe housekeeper.
I'm emotionally tough, but Mom, my cooking's not that bad.
She's like, well, I'm physically tough because it is.
Sorry, Bob.
Probably have to clean the toilet a lot less if you didn't eat such
He said
shitty
chef.
food.
He said chef.
Yeah, but then he thought about it. He thought maybe house cleaner.
All right, so Bob said house cleaner.
What do you guys
Do you
want
want a
to
truce?
Truce.
We want to thank you for joining us for this very special episode of 1, 2, 3 Jokes. Oops, all questions.
My mental
All burning
toughness.
questions.
Ouch, my mental toughness.
So I got one question, Robert. What can people do to help support us in our show?
Good question. Patreon for just $3 a month. You got our entire back catalog of episodes as well as bonus content, which this may or may not be.
No, this is an episode.
This was a great special.
We'll see how the edit goes. Yeah, that's it. All the links are in the episode description. Click on them and you'll thank us.
Yeah, next week we'll be back to our normal format. 3 stories from the news, jokes about each story,
Stop it, Jeremy.
and
Stop.
And decide who has the best jokes.
Yeah.
You're Jeremy Martinez.
yeah, well, before that and
Wait,
until then,
Can I just one more thing? Like, I know Bob already mentioned it, but please do leave a review of the show on the format that you watch the show.
Good review.
Comment
Good
on
review.
a good review. If you're watching us on YouTube, please interact with our video. Comment. It really does make a difference for us in our ability to get our show out
That's not
there
a bad
to
one.
more people. So if you enjoy listening to our show, if you're a regular listener, even if you're not on Patreon, please just click a button
Harley.
right.
That's your camera. It's
I've been looking at the wrong camera this whole fucking day.
Hey, Bob.
Don't comment on that.
Bob, why don't you ask a question to our listeners and viewers, and they can answer in
Oh, that's a good idea. They
in
can
the
comment
comments.
on it.
That's all right.
Too personal. Too personal. Here, you do.
All right, listeners,
Thank
would
you.
you
Bye.
rather let's go with the Rick roll.
Oh,
Would
Jesus.
listeners comment about would you rather be Rick rolled every time you orgasm or have a Rick roll every time?
What one fear would you like to conquer? My unease about people listening and watching. Okay. And what they might think.
All right, listeners.
Say.
What
He
fear?
doesn't want you,
What one
guys.
fear would you like to conquer?
Wow.
Looking forward to seeing those answers. Till then, I'm Jeremy Martinez.
I'm Ricardo Leon.
Oh, I'm Bob Timmons.
I'm Carly Kastner.
Amanda Kerberg.
And I'm Vanessa Flores.
This has been a special episode of 1, 2, 3 Jokes.
Burning
Oops, all
questions.
burning questions.
Quick, which of your personality traits would you like to change? Oh, that's kind of a serious one too.
Can I
I
answer
was hoping for another hey, what's your favorite snack?
Can I answer for other people?